Yeah, hi there. These comments are for Z, and I am Michael Buckoff, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass a TOEFL IBT. I just listened to, or actually I just read your integrated writing practice test number 8. And I will post, I actually made a few corrections to your, but I'm not going to worry about that. Let me just go over a basic discussion of your essay. So I think overall you're going to score here, I'm going to put you at about 3.0 out of 5. For the purposes of our grading here, let's take a look. So 3.0, that's going to put you, for the integrated writing, that's going to put you at about 20 points out of 30. Now, when I take a look at the explanation of why I gave you the score that I did, it says, your response conveys incomplete, inaccurate, or imprecise connection of the ideas in the lecture to the ideas in the reading passage. So that's one of the problems that you have. For example, let's take a look at one of your paragraphs. Let's go to paragraph 3, right? You say, the article posits that fast food restaurants damage people's health in different ways. For example, it increases the rate of cholesterol and diabetes in patients. Now, when you talk about the lecture, you say, in contrast, the professor refutes this claim by explaining that there are fast food restaurants that serve and offer more choices. So on the one hand, you're talking about how fast food restaurants damage people's health. On the other hand, you're talking about how restaurants offer more choices. Now, if you closely read in the reading passage, it is arguing that fast food restaurants offer limited choices or options. And because the options are limited, a lot of the consumers, they choose food that's high in cholesterol, and it can also cause diabetes in people. So you didn't really make that connection in that paragraph. So that's one of the reasons I gave you the score that I did. So another reason is if you get into, I think in your second paragraph, you say the reading passage asserts that fast food restaurants such as McDonald's and Taco Bell cause obesity. Right after that, you move to the information in the lecture. But I think you needed to more completely discuss that information in the reading. So if you go to the reading passage, something that you could have said there might be, is that because the food is fast and cheap, and because there's kind of a bad economy right now, a lot of adults and children are eating a lot of fast food. And also because of their busy schedules are eating a lot of fast food. And all of those things together are causing obesity in the long term, right? I think you should have mentioned some of that because that seems to be an important point from the reading passage. All right, so those are just a few examples of some things that you can do to improve. And sometimes also you have some problems with your word choice or some problems with your grammar, which sometimes make it a little bit difficult to understand. So what do I mean by that? Let's take a look at your second paragraph. You say, and you did this article, or you did this mistake, I think, a couple of times in your essay, but let's take a look at one example. You say, first of all, as the reading passage asserts, I'm going to get rid of the word as and just say, first of all, the reading passage asserts that. That way you have a subject, you have a verb, and then you're introducing your noun clause. If you start off with as, now you're introducing what's called a dependent or subordinate clause, and you have no main clause. You did that same error, I think, in your final paragraph, where you said, however, as the professor points out, you don't want to say as there either. Think of as in two ways. One, it can be a preposition. Number two, it can be an adverb clause connector. So in that fourth paragraph, you want to say this, however, the professor points out that fast food chains do not necessarily promote gluttony, and it is. Now, that paragraph, though, I liked it. I liked it because everything that you did was relevant. Because when you talked about the information in the reading, you're talking about how fast food restaurants encourage gluttony by offering or allowing free refills. And then when you talked about the lecture, you said that the professor points out that fast food chains do not necessarily promote gluttony. So it's very clear what ideas you're trying to compare here. They're equal and they're relevant and they're both important ideas there. So your fourth paragraph, in my opinion, was your strongest paragraph out of the four, right? So based on the rubrics, and you can click on the link to find out more about what your score means or what it is. But again, I'm going to put you at 3.0 out of 5, 20 points out of 30. Now, if you go to the syllabus and you look at the grading scale, 3.0 on the integrated writing is going to give you a 76% on this writing practice test. Alrighty? Does that make sense? So anyway, thank you very much. And thank you for completing the writing practice test. And I look forward to reading your final practice test in this class.